have something to say. Today I'm at BlackBird Pizzeria and it's on 6th and Lombard. It's a vegetarian pizza place, but they have so much more than pizza here. I looked over the menu and I decided to get something that I never tried before from here because I have been here before. Actually, this is like one of the very first places that I taped at when I started this show. So yeah, I'm back and I didn't get pizza this time. This time I'm going to try their veggie or vegetarian chili and some mixed sauteed greens. And hopefully it's a good time. I'm pretty sure it's going to be because they're awesome. They actually won for best vegan cheesesteak here. I mean, I beg to differ because Govinda is saying something, but I mean, you might want to come try it out. They won an award. While I am waiting on my eats, as I always do, I want to talk about the latest hot topic. Eva Longoria voiced her opinion recently about how she feels about reality stars that are trying to keep their lives separate. And the reason why it was an interesting topic to me is because I agreed with her. Long story short, she said that, okay, it doesn't really make sense for reality stars to say, I would like to keep this part of my life private or my private life private, when the only reason you're relevant is because you agreed to allow us in your life. So what do you mean you want to be private? There's basically you can't. And I agree with her totally. She said that it's different for actors and actresses because that's not what they signed up for. I signed up to entertain you. I signed up to share my craft with you. I didn't sign up to share with you what's going on with me and my husband or my child. And that's absolutely true. I love the sneak peeks that we get into the Eva Longoria, Madonna, and Gwyneth Paltrow and Beyonce's life. I love the sneak peeks of the babies and things like that, but really they don't owe us that. That's like an extra perk. But you reality stars who all of a sudden want to be private, it's contradicting. You can't be private, so stop trying to be private or stop being a reality star and stop getting them checks from E. Speaking of getting checks from E, I'm going to talk about Kim Kardashian. She's one of the few reality stars that all of a sudden want to be private, and I just don't get it. You say you want to be private, but then you pick and choose some of the weirdest things to share with us, like the recent Vogue ad. To me, I mean, I was a little unnerved with that naked picture of North on Kanye's lap and Kim's hand on her butt. I don't know. I'm no artiste, okay? I'm not there. I'm not deep with it. I'm not dissecting it. I don't get it. And it was an uncomfortable picture to me. I mean, Kim has admittedly said that Kanye West won't even change her pamper. He's not interested. He's not changing pampers. But you can lay like that with her naked. Like, what was that? That was not nice. I didn't like that picture at all. And I mean, and a lot of people were saying that they don't even think they deserve the cover of Vogue, and that what are they doing on there? I mean, I can't say about deserving it. I can't speak too much about whether or not she deserved the cover or they deserve the cover, but I don't think Kim would have gotten that cover if it had not been for Kanye West. I do think that I've heard or read a few times that Kanye West has a relationship with Anna Wintour, and we know that Kim has always wanted to be on the cover of Vogue. So he finagled and they got it done, and it's okay. But I don't know. I don't think it was a feat. Like, I don't think she really, she finally got it. No, she didn't finally get it because she didn't get it by her damn self, because that's what she really wanted. She didn't want that. She didn't really get it. She didn't really get it. For real. So, whatever. But, I don't know. Do I think Kim deserved the cover of Vogue? I wouldn't say yes or I wouldn't say no. But if I had to pick a sister to be on the cover, a Kardashian sister, to be on the cover of Vogue, it would have been Kourtney. Because every time I see Kourtney, whether she's trying or not, she slays. Like, I want to find that shirt. I want to put my hair up like Kourtney's. I think Kourtney is the most fashionable sister, in my opinion. And even though I know she probably would never want to be on the cover of Vogue, if any one of those Kardashian sisters should be on the cover of Vogue because of fashion, it should be Kourtney. Maybe if Kendall keeps on the right track, she's doing really well with modeling, eventually Kendall will deserve a Vogue cover. I'm not going to say Kim didn't deserve it. I just don't really get why. Why are you there? What do you represent? Not a good movie. You know, Stella McCarthy, wonderful actress. I get it. We're going to pick her this month. Of course, we get the models. They deserve to be there. Vogue is fashion. Models are fashion for the most part. But I don't even understand why Kim felt like she deserved. Why? Best reality show? I don't know. Just one more thing about the Vogue ad. I did get to see Naomi Campbell's response. You know, that's my friend. Yeah, I got to see her response about it, and I loved it because she didn't really say that she didn't feel like Kim didn't deserve it. When asked if she felt like she deserved it, she didn't say yay or nay. She basically just kind of let us know about her career and that she's been in the game for about 28 years, I think, or was it 18? I don't want to say it wrong. I'm saying it wrong. Basically, what she said is Vogue is a build to your career. You work up to Vogue. And she said it without saying it. What did Kim do to deserve being on Vogue's cover? She didn't say it. And when they tried to get her to say it, she wouldn't say it. And she basically said she respects Anna Wintour. And I guess that's why she wouldn't say anything negative about the whole cover. But we all know what it is. I've been really enjoying seeing Tiny this week promoting Family Hustle. She was on Watch What Happens Live and Wendy. And I don't know if maybe because when she's with P.I. interviewing, maybe he takes over the bulk of the interview and she's just a good wife, speak when it's time for her to speak. But seeing her on her own, she's very, very boisterous, and I love it. She's honest and she doesn't really care. She says exactly how she feels. She says it like she means it, and I love watching her on both interviews. But it's not, we can't ignore the fact that she's doing these interviews by herself. When last season they were together promoting Family Hustle, so I do think that maybe there is some truth that there's trouble in paradise. And when she was asked on Watch What Happens Live, she basically said, yeah, we went through some things, but that's normal, but we're okay now. And the same thing on Wendy, went through some things, but we're okay now. But Wendy called her out on not having her ring on, and she tried to come up with an excuse that she's having some issue with that finger. Wendy wasn't buying it, but she stuck to her guns and said, listen, I have an issue with my finger, there's no problem with my marriage. I heard that T.I. stepped out and could have possibly produced a child. I don't know how true that is, but I hope it's not true, because I just wouldn't understand, why would you be that stupid? Like you are so successful, and like chill. You got a lot of kids. You don't need to be really going up and nobody wrong but Tiny. If it's true, it might not be true, but if that's the case, that's very messy. It may play out on this season of Family Hustle. I'll be watching because I love this show. I love the kids. And I love them overall. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's not true about the baby. And prayerfully they went through a rough patch and got over it and are still together. We need to see more Black couples succeed in marriage. And not even just Black marriages. Like, I was really sad to find out that Gwyneth and Chris are like splitting up or getting separated. I've been hearing a lot of people say divorced lately, but I want to stick with separated, because maybe the separation will bring them back together. She said separated. Everybody's saying divorced though, but I'm going to stick with separated because that's what she said on her blog. And hopefully it's just a rough patch and they'll get past it, because marriage is supposed to last. And prayerfully there as well too. Yeah. Real quick blurb about Nene from the Atlanta Housewives. I was watching over the weekend, and she had the audacity to, like, you know, during their little time together, the girls, to, you know, kind of gather everybody in her own way. And the first thing she said to both, I think, Portia and Candy, is that she's not here for ignorance. And, you know, I can't stand an ignorant person. But Nene is the epitome of ignorance. Are you kidding me, Nene? Like, were you ever intellectually profound on that show? I mean, are they editing it out? Are we missing the good part? Because, honey, you are a bottle of just ignorance. Honey, you're a whole gallon and a half of ignorance. Buy two, get one free of ignorance. Nene, don't you ever, honey, if I could ask you on Twitter just this part, don't you ever call nobody ignorant with your ignorant behind. You ignorant and tall at the same damn time. Alright, so I just want to kind of say something about something that just irritated me to pieces this week. I was in church and we had not a guest preacher, but my main pastor, he didn't preach. I go to a big church, so we have like a lot of associate ministers. So the main pastor, he didn't preach, an associate minister did. And he just got into this whole thing about the song Happy by Pharrell that kind of got on my nerves, and he even went as far as to like dissect the song and say that when Pharrell says we're gonna be happy like we're in a room without a roof, that he's just condoning us living without any restriction and doing what we want to do. And isn't it something to be said about, you know, having, you know, boundaries and, you know, different things like that. I just don't think it's cool to just get up and just spew anything to a congregation. I mean, if when they told you you had to do 10 o'clock and you didn't have anything to talk about, maybe you should have asked another minister to do 10 o'clock. Don't just get up there and say what you want to say, spewing song titles and familiar secular rhetoric just to gain the congregation's attention with absolutely no purpose. Like, who came to Christ because of that? I just was bothered by it. I'm bothered by people thinking that they can just get up in places like church, where it's like a safe haven, a hospital for the sick. People are coming there to learn more about Christ, and I just don't believe, I don't think it's right for you, pastor, to get up and voice your opinion. Like, you got into this whole thing about happy and us wanting to be happy and how we shouldn't, you know, yearn for happiness because happiness is based on happenstances, and I get that and I understand it, because if things ain't going right, I'm not going to be happy because that's based on what's happening. I get it. However, I almost felt like you were pushing us to, no, we want the joy of the Lord. Absolutely, and I have the joy of the Lord even when I'm unhappy. The joy goes nowhere. That was a gift from God that He will never take away. This joy I have, the world ain't give it to me, so they can't take it away. I'll always have my joy on the inside. But don't talk about being happy like it's a problem. So I'm going to tell my nephew, don't sing if you're happy, you know it, don't sing now. That's what I'm going to tell him now, because of what you said on Sunday. Somebody went home and they ain't going to play that song no more because of you and your opinion that you should have kept at the dinner table, because it was based on you. That wasn't biblical. And actually, I was on Facebook the next day and somebody posted something about Ephesians 3, and I want to say 2. I'm probably wrong. I'm so mad that I'm not 100% sure. But God encouraged us to be happy in that one. It was the NIV version. Tell me I'm wrong. It should have been King James. He didn't say it. Whatever. Because you read NIV too. So stop it. I don't think it's fair for pastors to get up there and spew their opinion and push their own thing on the congregation. Keep it Christ. Keep it biblical. And yes, you do have to make, I guess I'm going to say, you're going to have to use certain things that are secular or kind of worldly to reach certain people in church. I get it, but to just kind of force your opinion and go off on it like that, I was uncomfortable, and I totally didn't like that. I was pissed, and I love Happy, and I'm gonna keep listening to it, and I'm gonna turn it up louder. All right, so
breakfast. Tell me about your breakfast.
okay, so my food came. And again, I got the veggie chili, and it's actually called the tempeh chili, whatever. Just means that they use some type of vegetarian base for the meat, some type of tofu situation for the meat in the chili. And I must say that chili is every damn thing. Actually, I'm saving it so I can go home, hunting. Heat that thing up. That chili is good. Come down here for that chili right away before the summer, because anybody got time for hot ass chili in the summer. Come get that chili while the weather's right, okay? My sauteed greens were so damn good. I don't know what they sauteed it with. I would love to tell you, but I see a little onion. That's really all I see is little onion, little olive oil. You listen, but it's a good time. Do I recommend BlackBird Pizzeria? Of course I do. It was so good. They even gave me these little corn muffin thingies, and I know it's vegan. There's no egg, there's no milk, and they were really good. They were good, and everything was just a good time. I recommend BlackBird Pizzeria if you're a vegetarian, and even if you're not, because I'm not a vegetarian. I just gave up meat for Lent, and I have to do what I have to do, and this is a good time. So come down here, 6 and Lombard. You would definitely enjoy yourself. It's a good time. God, don't say that when I get my